Hello, everyone. It's Hyde in the Philippines. And man, I've got some great news. I booked my ticket back to the Philippines and I will be there before you know it. Now, today's topic really was brought on by this subject alone. Just the fact that I'm coming back to the Philippines. It's about insecurities. Now, we all have them, and they're distinct and they're based on individual experiences. Some of them are real, some of them are fake, some of them are placed by horrible people, older adults, or you know what I'm talking about, people that have just been mean to you and put some stuff in your head, and then you're going to carry that. Some of that stuff you carry for life, and some of the stuff we get over. Now, these insecurities, they often influence the choices we make and how we make them. Now, my personal insecurities have changed over the years. When I was a younger man, I had kids and a wife, and I was constantly concerned that I wasn't going to be able to provide for these people. And I managed to get through all that. And the insecurities that I have then are not the same for this man that sits before you now. My current insecurities are really just health oriented. I worry that about death. Really, I mean, if you want to get down to the bottom of it, I worry about dying. Here I'm coming up on 60, and I had them 2 stents put on. That could have took me out. I live a good life, and I live clean. However, those are some of my insecurities, that I have. I used to have insecurities about my teeth, but I worked that out. Now, when I bought that ticket, man, I was so excited. I couldn't wait to tell Gladys. It was just one of those things that, an exciting thing that you want to share with the person you love. So I waited and I waited, and finally she woke up and she texted me, "Good morning, dear." And click clack, there I am. And I got this big old grin on my face, and she could tell something was up, So, I started messing with her a little bit. I was like, "Well, I got some good news," and she's like, "Well, what?" And I said, "Well, I ordered my ticket." And then I messed with her for a little bit because I wouldn't tell her, exactly the day or the time, and I made her drag it out of me, and finally she did. And when she did, that's when I heard her insecurity for the first time. I told her, I was like, I ordered my ticket, and this is the day and the time. And then, you know, she smiled great big. I mean, great big. And I love her smile because when she smiles, her cheeks go up like this, and then she just looks so beautiful to me. And and then I saw like this other emotion that washed across her face, and I wanted to know what it was. It was something, and I was able to drag it out of her. I was like, "What was that?" And she goes, "Well, at least I know for sure you're coming back now." Well, I got to tell you, that hit me like a ton of bricks. I've only been thinking about myself, and I'm not ashamed to admit it, but that's the facts. I was only thinking about myself, and how this was all affecting me, and it just never had dawned on me that Gladys would have any insecurities of her own. Here I am, the great white knight, thinking that I'm maybe not thinking, but why why wouldn't she think that everything I said was the gospel? And that's just arrogance on my part, 100% pure freaking arrogance, that she wouldn't have any insecurities of her own. And that just kind of brought into light, and made me sit up and take notice, like, there's two of us. Okay, now how many of you have watched videos on the Philippines? I know I myself have watched countless. I can't even tell you how many videos I watched on everything I could find out about the Philippines and Philippinas, so I would make an informed decision. Now, we all know that those videos, there's the ones we watch, be careful, these are the red flags and all that shit. So we all watch those because we want to make an informed decision. And I did. I watched, all those videos, what Filipinas like, what they don't like, what they expect, the red flags. I watched them all, because like I said, I want to make an informed decision. When I meet the girl that I think is the girl for me, I want to make an informed decision. Now, like I said, arrogance on my part, You don't think that Gladys has been watching videos too? I mean, 100%. I just never thought about it. I looked it up myself. There are thousands of videos of Filipinas that live here in the States or that are in relationship with foreigners, and they're telling their fellow ladies about it in their language, Bisaya or Tagalog. I didn't understand any, but a lot of it's in Bisaya and Tagalog, and because they're talking to their sisters. Hey, this is what to expect. This is what foreigners like, what they don't like. And I mean everything. Everything, every subject that we talk about, they're talking about. So Gladys watched all them videos, man. She wanted to know what red flags to look out for, and I don't blame her. She wanted to make an informed decision, just like me. She didn't want to get caught up with some douchebag American or a foreigner and come to find out that I'm a bloody nightmare and that she had made the worst decision in her life. So, of course, she watched videos, but it never dawned on me. I never even thought that she was up there doing it. I just figured she thought, that everything was going to be fine. And that's my, like I said, my arrogance and ignorance on display right there for all of you all to see. Now, one of the other things, she confessed to me was that a lot of Filipinos talk about is how quiet it is here. I guess that's the subject because it is quiet. I walked my dog this morning. I was out 8 o'clock this morning, went and walked the dog for a couple miles. I live in town. There was nobody out. I was the only person out walking a dog. I was the only person out, period. It's Sunday. People are sleeping in, but there was nobody out. Now, on contrast, I don't care what day it is, in the Philippines, they start early. Them roosters start going off around 4:30. And that is, when they say you get up with the chickens, there's people that use that as their personal alarm clock. Oh, the rooster's up, time for me to get up. I'm going to make coffee. I got stuff to do. Now, that's how the Philippines work. It's a noisy place. People are outside all the time. I mean, everywhere. Wherever you go, you're going to see people. In the city, the city don't sleep. There's people out, traffic moving all the time. But even in the province, there's people out going and conducting their lives. Not like how we do it here. There, they have to actually, for lack of a better word, forage. If they want to cook, they got to go out in the woods and chop down some wood and cut it up and make charcoal or whatever they're going to do to cook breakfast. I'm not saying that's an everyday thing, but that's how these people. And Gladys and I, we chat all the time. We video chat, and when we video chat, she has to go into her bedroom because it's so noisy in her house. She lives in a living home where people are living. It's not a monastery. You don't have to be quiet when you go in there. There's stuff happening. There's noise. There's dogs. People coming in and out. The little kids that run around there. There's a door here and a door here. Sometimes you'll just see them hauling ass through this door to run out that door, and then you just have no idea where but you can hear them squealing and running. But that's a living house. That's the people that live in a home. It's a home. And they're loud and noisy. Every once in a while you'll hear saba. That means noisy. That means quiet. But, that might shut it down for a few seconds, but it never shuts it down completely. Because even when they're talking, I make fun of Gladys. Her mom might be 5 feet away from him, and she'll go, Ma! Loud as hell. I'm like, she's right there. But that's how they interact, So that's one of her fears is coming here, and it's going to be too quiet for her. And that's where I'm going to have to dust off my emotional intelligence. I haven't been using it. There's two people in this relationship, and we're both bringing our fears and anxieties and insecurities with us. And the only thing I can do is, time and effort is the only true path, I believe, to help dissuade Gladys's and my own insecurities. A little time and effort on both our parts. Now I truly do look forward to the peace, giving and receiving peace on both ends, to where at some point the anxieties will just melt away. The foolish ones, does she love me? Does he love me? Will he take care of me? Will she take care of me? Am I enough for him? Am I enough for her? I believe, like I said, with a little effort and some work on my part, I can build up that confidence and she can build up my confidence. Now, I don't really have any of these fears or anxieties. My only true anxiety is I want to live as long as humanly possible so Gladys and I can have as many years together as humanly possible. Man, I don't know, I just got emotional. Okay, be as good as you can. Please be as good as you can. This has been Hiding in the Philippines. Ciao. I'm having a hard time. Wow.